3, 2, 1, and we're back in the room. Hello, Patreons. Thank you for your continued support. I love each and every one of you. There's Gemma, the voice from Beyond's hand. You're the only people to get to see that because no one else is in the room as of yet when this was live, which is now. That's confusing me. Don't take a lot at the minute. Let's find the comments on Hither. Comment hero, Ross Thorne. 0 year. Joshua Hiddle. I have got pants on, I'm afraid, but well, they're girls' pants, so it's quite interesting. Here we be. If I turn this off here. Okay. Susanna's in the house. Mr. Adrian Yonkers. Sam Dan. Comment hero, when am I bulking again? So I finish doing my cut in 7 days' time. So I'm very excited about that. Then I'm going to do a 3-day refeed. And then I do my photo shoot. And then I'm back on the gains train, baby. Making all them gains.
Your thumbnail looks like that. It's weird, isn't it?
Oh, not on my computer it didn't. It showed me my thumbnail.
How weird.
That's really annoying. What thumbnail have you guys got in? Is it the one of me going like this? Or is it just a load of camo and nonsense? Hi cats, Kale. That is a cool name. I like cats and I like kale.
Oh, kale chips. Tell everyone how much I've been...
We've been eating loads of kale chips with our new air fryer. It's so good.
Oh, it's the best thing. The best time.
Yes, I know that's Vegan Rose. Why have you changed your name? It's very confusing. Vegan Vizard's in the house. Awesome. Do check out Vegan Vizard. Awesome vegan memes over on that Instagrams. And follow me on Instagram as well, Hench_Herbivore. I need to have my ego stroked by having more followers. It's the only thing that gets me there. A vegan visit. Press the damn notification button now. I'm here. Sweet. Vegan year. Vegan year. Why? It's confusing me. Sorrelella. No, it's raining in Norwich currently. It's a bit poo. Plant-based. We're using the house products, not pills as usual. Ali McCotchery. Oh, I've got it. The hand from beyond. I mean, the voice from beyond's hand. Gareth Cook's in the house. Nikai Chondhari. 5,000 micrograms B12 once a week is enough. It depends on the type that you're using. All I can tell you is for cyanocobalamin, which is the sort of basic one, which a lot of people recommend you take that one. And that is 2,500 micrograms a week, except after about age 50, it then goes up to something like 7,000. Don't know what's so special about your 50th birthday, but something about like you have less intrinsic factor, so it becomes not so bioavailable. Well, this has just jumped like crazy. Gary, your thoughts on drinking distilled water? Yes, fine. As long as you're drinking, as long as you're eating plenty of produce, your fruits and veggies, etc. You're going to get tons of minerals there. The one thing people say about distilled water, you use losing the minerals. There's so little, it's just trace amounts. I guess neither here nor this. If you've got some pure water, like that's much more important than the little bit of minerals that's in there. But just eat your whole plant foods and you're going to be laughing. Okay. Benjamin 54321, type 1 diabetic in the house. You should not define yourself by your illnesses. Well, don't let me tell you what to do. You do what you want. It's just, it can sort of really become you. I mean, I know type 1, like you're kind of lumbered with it, but for other things and when people are overweight and they constantly go on about how fat they are and then that sort of becomes their identity. And I think that's quite negative. Gareth Cook's in the house. Super Black Mamba. Curmudgeon. Weave Magic. All the usuals are here. Lawrence Exelson. Bum bum bum. They are all kinds of gains.
Have you you mentioned that you've had 2 super chats.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second.
Ah,
Thanks.
okay.
Oh, good. No, everyone else did get my proper thumbnail.
Oh, that's strange.
Joshua Weddell, so you can't stay lean and gain muscle. You can if you know exactly what your calorie needs are week by week by week. But the trouble is your calorie needs are constantly changing. So you could overeat that little bit and put a bit fat on, or undereat and not gain any muscle. It's a fine line. But I'm certainly going to try and do much more of a lean bulk and not put on so much fat. But, you know, when you're kind of limiting it, like the progress is a little bit slower versus if you're like well over caloried, you know, you're going to grow the quickest. Those vegan guys are in the house. Check them out. They're awesome. Good evening. Get a blows on you. Vegan Solberg's in the house. Hey, oh no. Why is this jumped again?
I don't know, but you've had 3 super chats.
Yeah, I know. This is all vegan Ichiego. He thinks he's clever by saying how much he loves vegan Ichiego's channel, but he gives himself away by putting these 3 6s on the end of his made-up names. But thanks for the dosh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He usually comes in on videos as like thousands of different dragons and Pokemon, and I don't know what the hell he's doing. But, you know, he's a good person. Right. Listen, guys, I'm just going to skip forward a bit because I'm getting well behind in the chat. If I miss your comment or question, do just pop it down again. Those vegan guys said good evening to you if you didn't know. Lenny Harry, Hench Herbivore, can you take part in the ball bag Paul Saladino MD? Oh, take a part. He's so annoying. I don't know who that is, but I'll have a look later on. I'll have a look. Vegan Bohemian Bees in the house. Wicked Viking, Hench, you ready for fight night tomorrow? I don't even know who's fighting. I'm really out of touch with combat sports. I used to live through all that. I don't mind a bit of it now, but I don't know. I'm so focused on my mission and like spreading veganism and whatnot. Vegan Ichiego is saying, read out my super chats. I'm not vegan Ichiego. Sorry, I must be really thick. Ben Passion, hey Hench, I'm an animal rights activist. Good for you. I love you and all that you're doing. Vegan power building, who's going to the animal rights march tomorrow? Yeah, I'm not going. For the first year, I'm not going, and I'm really, really gutted. So what happened was my cut's gone on longer than I wanted it to. I'm at that critical stage where I just need to push on or, you know, it's all over really. So, yeah, I'm missing it. I'm missing out on that. I've put posts all over my social media, really pulling at people's heartstrings, saying like, can some of you go in my place? He weren't going to go. And then like I can feel not so bad because I wanted to go to every single one. And, you know, if those numbers grow year on year on year, you know, people are going to have to start taking us seriously, aren't they? You know, when you got like 10,000, well, there was 10,000 vegans in London last year. So, you know, it's been doubling year on year. So, yeah, but I'm glad not to go, but it's just not the best use of me at this time. Like the leaner I get, the better shape. You know, I'm reaching thousands of people with video and my posts, you know. I think we've had 3.2 million views on YouTube now. And obviously there's the Instagram and Facebook posts. So the better I look, the more of an advocate I am. So that's how I sort of justified it to myself. But I will definitely be there next year. I'm going to start my cut much earlier, get it done. I'm not going to get so fat as well, which will really help. And yeah, I hope all you guys are going. If you can, if you're within travelling distance of London, it's such a good way of advocacy. You know, it's shutting down London. Like they can't. You know, the whole route is huge. People are like all staring out of the windows, and I was so emotional. Like when I got there and I was in this crowd, the last one, the first half an hour, I was just trying not to blow my eyes out because I thought, wow, all these people are here not for their own benefit, but you know, for the sake of animals. And it's beautiful, man. It's such an amazing experience. But I better zip forwards a little bit. I've seen some people My IRL friend, Julian Walters, from back in the day. I'm a machine. We used to throw people out of nightclubs. We were bouncers. We would throw people out the door and then run and smash our chests together and shout that I'm a machine. Those were the days. Hey, Julian, what about that time when we were trying to get that guy who was giving that girl some hassle, and you ran along and slipped on that corrugated plastic because it was wet? I didn't know whether to be really angry or laugh. I'm glad you didn't hurt your bum too much.
You just had a super chat.
Oh, I just had a super chat.
Well, you've had loads of them from that person that you're not.
Vegan Itchiego's been really kind with the super chats. What's he saying?
You've had another one from
Right.
Phil D.
Oh, he's always helping me out. Let's because I'm at the end of this car, I can't remember words. Let's entertain. That's not the word. Anyway, we'll answer Vegan Itchiego. What's he saying? £2 again on the super chats. Thoughts on that couple? I don't know who you're talking about, so you'll have to just let me know which couple.
Does he mean that vegan couple?
If you mean that vegan couple, I think they're amazing. I met them at the last year's camp out. Oh yeah, who's going to the camp out? I'm going to be there. I'm going to be hanging out in the fitness zone, helping out there. Do come and say hi. The camp out is the best event of the year. I'm not getting paid to say that. You know, I just love it so much. So, family freedoms in the house. Lions legs. How are you doing, guys? We were just watching your snake moving video. Oh, a better way of saying the video would have been 24 hours at a subscriber's house. Sorry, it's my brain again. That looked like a lot of fun. I love all these 24-hour challenges that you guys are doing. Vegan Itchiego, £2 on the super chats. Thoughts on vegan gains and vegan Itchiego? So vegan gains recently reshared one of my spherage videos. I don't know if you guys saw, which means that I've now got hundreds of more subscribers. And he is a lovely, lovely guy for helping me out like that. So I really appreciate him. Vegan Itchiego, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan. He hassled me a lot back in the day. He made me very, very angry at one point, and I was thinking some bad things if I ever bumped into him. But he seems to have changed his ways, so I'm letting that go. But yeah, that's about it, really.
And Phil D, read out his super chat.
What's Phil D saying?
Great things.
Phil D, my long-time awesome supporter, would love to see some collaborations with The Happy Pair and Bosch TV, as I'm sure would be great fun to produce and others to watch. Yeah. I'd love to get involved with those guys. One of the Bosch guys, actually, a couple of years ago at a Veg Fest said, oh, let's collaborate. I didn't know who he was, and I think I didn't concentrate, and like I lost his number, or I just didn't know who the hell he was anyway, and that opportunity just passed me by. So that was really stupid of me. God, they've got millions of followers, haven't they?
Contact him if you want to.
I'll contact them.
I bet he does now.
I'll contact them, Phil. Thank you for the idea. Yeah, write that down somewhere. Remind me to do that.
What, am I your assistant? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right, I'm just going to zip forwards a little bit. So do pop your comments or questions back in the chat if I've missed them. Michael, did you go to school for nutrition? So basically, I would really say I'm self-taught. I've watched all the nutrition facts videos probably that there are. I've got all the books by all the vegan doctors. I've watched all the documentaries, podcasts. I just ingest every single bit of info that comes out from the plant-based doctors. Later, I did a diploma with an online provider. The course was absolute rubbish. I would not recommend that to anyone. It was really horrible. But you know, now I've got the bit of paper to say that I can write nutrition plans and whatnot for people. But that would in no way equip someone to be able to actually do the job. It basically was like a load of misinformation. It was like we'd gone back 30 years and they were saying things like, babies, infants, if people are sick, if they're elderly, like they can't be a vegan. And, you know, that's just not the position of the largest, nutrition authorities in the world. Like they say, anyone could do it at any stage of life if you plan it appropriately. So I had to kind of unlearn what I had learned, and I'm typing in these answers that, you know, they're making me I'm fuming mad. Like, I was getting more and more angry. Like, felt like punching the screen through. I was so mad with the BS that I had to pretend that I like agreed with. Oh, it was horrible. The only decent online course that I've heard about that someone's actually said is really good is the eCornell one. So, but they also said to me, in all honesty, Paul, like, you know all this stuff because you've learned it from everywhere else. So, and that's only a certificate. I've got a diploma, so no point in doing that. You know, it's quite expensive as well. Right, let's zip forward a little bit. Vegan for life. I'm a machine. And I was just thinking about you. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thomas. Oh no. Why? This is just jumping like mad. Noah Brink, you need to be on the Joe Rogan show, teach him a thing or three. Yeah. Do you know, I really like Joe Rogan in a lot of different ways. Just this one thing that we will never see eye to eye on by the sound of it. Thomas Flynn, what are your main sources of fats? So I tried to go for the whole foods, you know, nuts, seeds, a little avocado, because I historically eaten relatively low fat, and we need to make sure we've got enough of the essential fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6. I've kind of emphasised nuts and seeds. I've kind of not eaten much avocado. Into my next bulk, I'm thinking of actually going a bit higher fat. You know, maybe I'll include more avocado, you know, nuts, seeds, butters. But the ones that are my real mainstays for breakfast, I always have ground flax and chia seeds. So that's great for the omega-3. They must be ground or you don't absorb the omega-3 into your system. I was eating a lot of walnuts. Lately, I've swapped them out for almonds most of the time because I noticed my vitamin E was a little low, if not. So that's really smashed my vitamin E for me. But, you know, I daily, I'll probably have another serving of some nut or seed, or like a nut butter. I've got some almond butter actually, so that keeps the almonds in. And tahini I've been using like fairly regularly as well. That really is great for sort of salad dressings and sort of bean dips and kind of cheesy bean-based sauces. Really good. Sangu, hey Hench Herbivore, at the minute I'm not eating rice, potatoes and noodles, etc. What do you think about that? You do you, my friend, you do you. But you know, there's some healthy things there, you know, but as long as you're getting some like whole grains, you know, that's good. It's nice to get a little bit of sweet potato in. Again, very high in vitamin E. The nutrition profile of a sweet potato relative to a white potato, like, is leagues apart. So, you know, better to have the sweet potatoes. I'm just going to skip forwards a bit more again.
You're not that far behind.
Those vegan guys, meant to ask you, Paul, where do you get runny tahini? Asian supermarkets, like, oftentimes are really, really good. Anything to add to that?
I think some of them are like with whole sesames and some are sesames that haven't been whole.
Oh.
So I think the one that are whole, it's like thicker and darker.
Right.
So you go for the whole one.
Is it whole or is it like the roasted or not roasted?
Okay, yeah, that will be a factor also.
Do you know that there's whole, or were you making that up?
No, I do know.
Oh, you do know. The jury's still out, I'm afraid, guys. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're making me wonder now. I don't know. Someone was asking about the air fryer, if there'll be a code or something. It's on your last video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys, that air fryer that I promoted, they were a bit slack their end, and they won't give me all the details. And then they were a little bit butthurt when like, I sort of told them the score. But yeah, they didn't send me a code and link in time. But there's on the video now. I did put it on the video, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Yeah, if you go back to my full day of eating video, there is a link and a discount code. I think there's something like 20 or 30% off, so it's pretty good. And it was already on offer anyway, so that's really cheap now. Really, really good. Guys, if you've not used an air fryer before, like, we are converts. Like, they are so amazing. You know, you could do kale chips in like 8 minutes. Like, and they don't suddenly disintegrate like when you put them in the oven if you leave them in a second too long. Erin Solberg, what's the best protein source in your opinion? I love your channel. Keep up being awesome. All right, thank you very much. Do you know, as long as you're eating a range of whole plant foods, you know, the protein kind of takes care of itself. You know, you're getting some amino acids from different sources. Your body keeps pools of free amino acids. So, you know, you don't need to worry too much. But some of my favourite sources, like when I really want to make sure I've got, you know, a good whack of protein in. For whole foods, I like lentils a lot. I used to think they were the highest protein whole food, but someone put me right. And I don't know if it's lupini beans or edamame beans may actually have more protein. Tofu's great, you know, particularly if you've got a lot of volume. This is another thing I'm going to implement. I'm going to add in tofu every day when I get back onto my bulk again, you know, because again, you know, some of the fibers removed, you lose a bit of the minerals, but it's a great way of getting a big whack of protein in. You know, like a slab of tofu can be like 50 grams of protein. Yeah, I was going to say something else, but I've gone off track because my brain's stupid. Get our recipe book. It's coming out within a month. 30 high protein vegan recipes.
Well, we don't know when it's coming out because someone's helping us now.
Yeah, we don't know, but we're hoping. Oh yeah, and Viva Life Protein, who I'm an ambassador for, they are the best protein bar none. What I really like about them, well, there's a lot of things I like, but it's very digestible and absorbable. So it's really, really good. So link and discount code in the description for Vivo Life Protons. Comment Hero has kindly gifted me £1 Great British pound just because he's a lovely guy. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Morgan Mondion, plant-based alternative to krill oil for lowering triglycerides. I don't really know about all that, krill oil and its effects. How do you lower your triglycerides? Kind of like upping your exercise, I guess, is good. I've drawn a bit of a blank. It could be because of my diet brain again. Do you know, today I went to go to the gym. I saw that it was raining. I picked up my shorts for training. I was doing leg day. Picked up my shorts to put in my bag. Took my trousers off, put my shorts on, and then went to go outside and thought, what the hell am I doing? And because I'm like really low energy as well, like it's a real effort to like do anything. So I was so frustrated. And then I got to the gym and I went to start training and I thought, oh, I've got to go back and put my shorts on. And then I had to do like an extra load of walking. And my brain is not good at the minute. It's really not good. Thomas Flynn, best carbs for bulking. You know, again, the whole plant foods are the healthiest. So your whole grains, legumes. When I'm on a bulk, I'll typically eat more like tropical fruits and dried fruits because they're much more calorically dense. Versus when I'm on a cut, I'll eat like apples and oranges and berries, you know, because you're getting a lot more volume for few calories. So it fills you up really good. So that's a really good strategy. So I tend to stick to those for my bulk of my carbs. The cynical adolescent, how much of a calorie surplus should I be in a whole foods plant-based diet for maximum muscle gains? I don't care about getting a little flab. You know, it's hard to put a number on things, but I often aim for, I tend to do about 250 calories over maintenance, which should be like half a pound a week. Depending on how long you've been training, that can be, you can get away with more than that if you're early in your career, or you can get away with less than that if you've been training for like, say, 5 years solid. So it's really hard to say. I know that Brian Turner, you know, excellent vegan bodybuilder, awesome YouTube channel, check him out if you didn't know him. He goes in at 400 calories, which to me seems like a huge amount, but you know, I'm sure he's not drug assisted and he's really lean all the time. So yeah, he's doing fine. So maybe we're all different. Maybe that's the long and short of it, you know, and we've all got different abilities. And I suppose it's really try it and see, you know. I think that's the best answer, most probably. Now, where was I? Vincent Bright, hey Hench, thanks a lot for the entertainment and inspiration. You do a lot of great things here by disproving the connotations that vegans can't build muscle. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that's my whole remit, really, isn't it? It's just what I'm sort of trying to show. So thanks for the love. Oh, you can see little cowboy cat up in the corner there. Yeah, you'll see me pointing.
Shall I move over a bit so you can show him? Well, you don't really want to show him.
There he is.
He's sleeping above my head.
He's a handsome cat.
You okay,
Bohemian Bees enjoying the live chat. Oh, yeah, that was a terrible joke. Buzzing. Yeah, I get it. Adam Eve, Hench Herbivore, have you heard anything about the excitotoxins related to MSG? It's really scary info. Yeah, I know it's horrible stuff, so I just avoid it like the plague. That's all I can sort of tell you, really. But I was eating at Loving Hut. You know, they've got them all around the world, like it's a vegan sort of fast food sort of takeaway place. You know, and it's great that they exist, but that had like a ton of MSG in, and I had like a headache, and it's like I'd been kicked in the guts because I wasn't used to like having that stuff. Erin Goldberg, do you use Chronometer daily? I write out a lot of nutrition plans for online clients, and that is how I base it and make sure I've got all the macros in and whatever for everyone. Fan UK, ACDC Fan UK, sorry, it took me a minute. I hear that sewage asking going over numpties to eat raw meat at selective animal rights marches this weekend. Probably a good job I'm not going then. Benjamin 54321 says an important thing. Peanuts. Peanuts. Weave Magic, who the hell gets their morals from a lion? When I came in here, you did not sniff my ass. Lions sniff each other's asses when they greet. I noticed you didn't copy that behavior. Good old Gary Yurovsky. I miss that guy. Tofu Monster, Fitness Pal versus Chronometer, which is better? Easy. Chronometer. Done. Next. Sentient Stardust. I'm getting more than enough of the essential amino acids, but I haven't hit 100% of total protein in Chronometer. What's missing? Have you set your own protein requirements? Because you can do that. Depending on your needs, if you're like an average non-gym going female, the World Health Organization says 46 grams of protein a day should be enough for pretty much everyone in that position. 56 for a male. If you're a hard training strength athlete, with some decent size, you're going to need more. But yeah, amino acids wise, you only need so much. What's the branch chain? Leucine. Like leucine, you need like a certain amount to optimize your strength, your muscle gains. But after this certain amount, by putting in more, you get no further benefit. So it could be that you've got adequate of the aminos for the sort of needs. But perhaps your protein is just set a bit higher. So you might want to just look at where it's set, and do you need to change it? Do you need as much protein as it's set at? Kalias, you cannot gain muscles on a vegan diet, lol. That's a good job nobody told me then, isn't it? The vegan metalhead, do you like death metal? I'm not a fan, although I have got Anti-Carnist's new Death in My Metal, Not in My Meals vest, which I'm very fond of. Tofu Monster, do you also offer vegan fitness plans? Yeah, so guys, if you're wanting to optimize your physique or optimize your health, so I do nutrition plans, they're bespoke to the individual. I do workout plans, again, all bespoke to the individual. It's based off of your stats, your likes, dislikes, allergies, intolerances. Can you heat your food doing that? Basically, if you email me at henchherbivore@yahoo.co.uk, I ping over an email questionnaire, and you just fill out whatever's relevant to whether you want a nutrition plan, workout plan, or both. I charge £40 for one or £60 for both if you buy them together. Turnaround's normally 2 or 3 days. Sometimes I can get really snowed under, so it can take a little longer, but by and large, it's 2 or 3 days tops. Yeah, and what I do is I ask the client to keep in touch for the first 2 or 3 weeks. So, the first instance, is kind of a guesstimate where their calories need to be for their goal. And then week by week, I get them to report back based on what their weight's doing, and we make any tweaks as necessary, basically. So we make sure that it's definitely working for you. At the end of that time, because the nutrition plan is basically like a sort of framework. There's 3 like meals on there, but it's kind of a framework. And then I show how you can switch out any of the whole plant foods for like similar plant foods. And 99% of the time you'll hit your macros and your micros as well. Basically using chronometer as a guide, making sure that all the macros, micros are in there. So then effectively you kind of become your own nutritionist, and you don't need to buy another plan going forward. You kind of learn how to make your own meals, making sure you got, your legume, your whole grain or tuber, your veggies, bit of fruit, nuts and seeds, things like that at most meals. Well, I just saw my lovely friend, Lloyd Christmas, 20 Canadian dollars on the super chat. You are a hero. Thank you so much. To save time, I mainly do compound exercise like squats and deads. I'm getting stronger, but what else can I do for my back and legs? Thanks for your work and spirit. Thank you. And thank you for your kind support, all these mums. Like, you've done so much for me. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Right, so you're doing compounds. So is it like... is your goal strength? I'm guessing it's strength because that's what you're talking about, but I don't know, because I'm more of a physique athlete really, so more hypertrophy. But the best compounds for legs, squat movement patterns, so like a back squat, a front squat. If you're wanting to shape your legs, you can also, because your stance typically is sort of wide and flared for like a squat, but by doing like hack squat machines and things, you can have your feet close together and forwards, which then develops more of the outer sweep, the vastus lateralis, so it makes you look good. Goal is soccer playing body and jiu-jitsu. Soccer playing body. So yes, more strength, isn't it? Not so much bulk, I suppose. So you're sort of doing the right things really, to be honest. I mean, back, a deadlift, so that's your posterior chain, so it's your hams, your glutes, your spinal erectors. If you're talking about like your upper back as well, obviously it's your pull-ups, pull-downs, kind of rows, that sort of thing. Like a Romanian deadlift's nice as well for the hamstrings there. Like split squats, like lunges, they'll be good. Reverse hypers, if your gym's got that bit of equipment. So our gym has, Phoenix Gym on Oak Street in Norwich, reverse hyper machine. So you basically, it's the same hip hinge, but your legs are moving instead of your torso. Particularly good for someone with kind of a back injury, that one. So that's good. But yeah, you're kind of doing the right things really. You can work in some variations or whatever, but that if you're meaning like not so much upper back, but sort of posterior chain and squats, then posterior chain and then quads and whatnot. You're doing the right things really. There's little variations you could add in as well, like tack them on the end perhaps if you want to. Obviously if you do too much volume in one session, depends on your frequency, then you may like under recover. So, maybe some sessions you do a front squat, maybe the next session is a, front squat, then a back squat, like a sumo deadlift. Next time you're doing a trap bar deadlift, you can work in little sort of variations like that as well. Keep it interesting, particularly if you've got higher frequency. So that's that.
Swing jumped. Can you go back up to just below that super chat?
Yeah.
Oh, just down, about 5 comments down. Someone's struggling on a vegan diet.
Okay, Ashley. I've been vegan for over 2 months. I feel kind of ill and bloated, a lot of fatigue. I wonder if you've got gut issues going on. Have you like too quickly added in a load of fibre that you weren't previously eating? In which case your gut microbiome, like the little bacteria that we've invited to live in the colon, you have the incorrect ones and you won't be processing things properly and absorbing. This sort of problem typically is something in the gut area. I had a problem for a while. I suddenly developed SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. That's like a driver behind so much sort of IBS type symptoms. And so I had terrible like cramping and and a lot of gas and bloating. So I basically found out what the problem was, treated that, and I was about to tell you what happened next, but I've just remembered I've done a video about it, which is dropping tomorrow morning. So I work with a YouTuber called Goji Man. He's a nutritionist who specialises in gut health. I got the test done with him. We did a SIBO test and organic acids test. So it came back I had, bacteria that's meant to be in the colon. They got somehow through the ileocecal valve into the small intestine where they're not meant to be. So they're starting to ferment stuff in there, which causes you all kinds of problems like I had. I also had an oxalates were raised. But Goji Man said by treating the SIBO, that should clear up the oxalates thing. So he prescribed me some natural antimicrobials, so allicin, which is from garlic, berberine, which is from berries, grapeseed extract as well, we added in later on. We also did some glutamine and quercetin. So glutamine is amino acid, quercetin is antioxidant out of onions, and that's just to treat the intestinal wall in case there's like permeability, what some people call leaky gut syndrome, and that would like tighten that all up. And I'm not going to tell you what happened, but watch my video tomorrow to see what happened. But yeah, I think you really need to what?
This is what she's saying.
Oh, so she's always eating fibre, bread, avocado, just no animal products anymore. Yeah, so maybe you could have SIBO or something like I did. And I was, I've been eating that way for 7 years at that point, and I was so well, my health had gone through the roof, but suddenly this developed. I think 1 in 6 people apparently get SIBO at some point in their lives. So yeah, I recommend, it sounds like something's going wrong in the gut. I recommend testing, don't know how great your doctor might be. In the UK now, they've actually recognised SIBO as a thing, and they will do SIBO testing. You could have a bacterial infection, you could have like organic acids issues, like problems with histamine, salicylates, oxalates, but you don't know unless you do testing. So I would go to your doctor, lay it on thick, see what tests they can do. Hopefully you'll get to the bottom of it. If not, and they won't do an organic acids or something, perhaps then you could approach my friend Goji Man. As I say, he's on YouTube, and he provides the tests for cost. I mean, they're not terribly cheap, these tests, as it is, but he does them at cost, and then you can try and interpret the results and treat yourself, or he offers a consultation, which I think is £100, and he will interpret the results, say exactly what's going on, and he'll prescribe the treatment, like I said, he did for me. And I can't really say how it went, because the bloody video is coming out tomorrow morning, but watch that.
She's also asked, she's saying about...
minimum amount of fat.
No, this is a different person.
Oh.
This is saying about counting calories. Does she need to on a vegan diet?
So what can happen is if you come from an omnivorous diet, and then like animal products can be super concentrated in calories. If you go to like a whole foods vegan diet and you're eating the same amount of food, the same volume, you can suddenly have too few calories and you will feel fatigued and tired, maybe dizzy, because you're not getting enough calories in. So that could simply be that. But it sounds with the bloating and stuff that you've got some sort of issue going on as well. So if you're not breaking the food down, or if it's causing absorption issues, that will exacerbate the problem. So yeah, try and run some tests and ascertain exactly what it is that's going on. Yeah. Is that?
Yeah, I believe so.
I hope you have some success, Hunt. Right, where are we? Thomas Flynn, what are your cholesterol levels? I don't know. I've not tested for a long time, but I should imagine that my LDL is extremely low. My total cholesterol is like pretty low as well. People worry about HDL, saying that's the good cholesterol. HDL is kind of a proxy for something else. It's not causative. It's just a correlation with good heart health and high HDL. So people who were suffering with heart disease were given like HDL supplement, and that they found no benefit to their like longevity. So it's Yeah, it's associative but not causative. So the LDL is the thing you need to worry about. American College of Cardiology. All these plant-based doctors that I follow in America, they say 57 milligrams per deciliter or lower of LDL, serum LDL, you're heart attack proof. I converted the American number there, which is milligrams per deciliter, into their English, I'm in England, which is millimoles per litre. And we say over here, like 3 or lower is normal. Like 3 or lower is normal. I did the conversion. That is double what the American doctors are saying. We'll guarantee that you don't get, coronary heart disease. You're not laying down the atherosclerosis that, it kills something like 1 in 3 people or something ridiculous. Like affects every other person. So I don't know. I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but I find that rather sinister that these doctors are saying you can be heart attack proof. Over here we're saying, oh, this is normal. What the doctors in America say, like the plant-based doctors, who wants to be normal in a society where normally every 3rd person dies of heart disease. You don't want normal. You want to be optimal. So the way to do that is to have your dietary fat, relatively low. The fats to really worry about, saturates, which come from animal products, and also things like palm oil, coconut oil, cocoa butter. Trans fats, which are found in animal products and processed plant foods like margarines and things, when they take like an oil and then sort of, is it called emulsify? No, that's when you mix things. Anyway, when you make it kind of solid, like hydrogenate it or whatever. And then, so that's 2 things. And the third thing to avoid, if you want your LDL cholesterol low enough, third thing to avoid is cholesterol, which is only found in animal products. Well, I think there is some in plant foods, people are actually saying now, but it's such like tiny amounts that it's like negligible. Or it's like a type of sterol, they're called. Yeah, I'm not 100% on all that, so I won't pretend that I am.
You've got a super chat.
Oh, that's that lovely Phil D again. Why is he so lovely? It's Phil D's birthday on Monday. He's going to be 48. Let's have some clapping hands in the comments, and some birthday cakes, some balloons, and some presents. Go. Let's see how cool our community is, whether we can rally round our awesome friend Phil D with his £10 on the super chat. That is really gentle. You've already donated as well. Having a social hiatus. Oh, we want you on here. We'd send you some cake, but best I could do for you both. Keep up the fab work of the channel interaction. Go vegan for all. Bless you. Thank you so much. I should be giving you a present if it's your birthday, not you giving me one. Really appreciate your support, brother. Okay, who else is super chatting me?
Oh no, go back.
Oh God.
Go back. Up.
What?
Up. Go up.
I don't. You do it. You're saying go up, but I don't know whether you mean scroll up or.
Oh, sorry. Can you? This is the lady we're talking to about.
Ashley. I will. Thank you, but I never had this issue before though. I've got issues because of the fibre. It's hard to say. You may be just eating more of one certain food. That's a trigger. You could have a slight issue with like oxalates, which I had. Possibly I've cured. I can't tell you because the video's not out till tomorrow. Normally what the problem is like if you're suddenly taking in a load more fibre. If you've been eating animal products, you have these sort of pathogenic bacteria types, or enterotype it's called. You've got Firmicutes, Rhinococcus and Bacteroides. And they kind of make toxins and make all bad stuff happen. So we don't want to be feeding them. So we don't want to be eating animal products. They eat things like sugar as well. And like they thrive on like medication. All the naughty things, alcohol will make them bloom. The things that make the good guys bloom, the Prevotella strains, is soluble fibre and resistant starch, which is found in insoluble fibre. So the good guys that, they train our immune system, they make vitamins, they create these short chain fatty acids that are the bedrock of good health. Like they're the basis of our neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. They lower our production of HMG-CoA reductase from the liver, which is the rate limiting factor in the production of cholesterol. So that can actually lower your cholesterol like a drug would except you're not risking, like you don't suddenly raise your risk for cancer or muscle wastage like you do by taking Lipitor, you know, like the statin drugs. So they're really amazing. So we want loads of these Prevotella strains. But the problem is you may have been eating some of those foods, but if you're eating, my understanding that your gut enterotype kind of will be sort of towards one way. You won't typically have like a balance of things, like it'll be heavily skewed one way. So, you know, if you've been eating more junky foods and processed foods versus eating more whole fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, you know, herbs, spices, that sort of thing. It's kind of like, I'm oversimplifying, but it's a bit like you've got a zoo in your colon and you've been preferentially feeding all the carnivores with meat. And then imagine all of a sudden you stop doing that and you throw a load of vegetables in there. What's going to happen? So the carnivores are not going to eat the vegetables. The vegetables are going to start to ferment. Like there's going to be real nasty stuff going on there. And there's going to be dysbiosis. You know, it can be bloating, gas, potentially pain, which I had when I had SIBO. Or as I say, you could have like a bacterial like overgrowth, or you could have a problem with one certain type of plant compound, which normally, if your gut is in good health, you can process. But if you've got something going on there and suddenly you put in too much of that food, then you're going to get the symptom. So a lot of people say, oh, this food is harming me, I'll go onto the carnivore diet. All of a sudden they're not getting the symptom anymore because they're not putting in that food. But what's actually happening is that they're damaging their colon even more. Like animal products only cause inflammation. Like you're going to be getting leaky gut. You're not going to get enough. So the colonocytes, like the cells of the mucosal wall of the colon, they're not, interestingly, they're not fed by the bloodstream. It's really unusual. They actually are fed by butyrate, which, as I alluded to earlier, these short chain fatty acids, that's the breakdown product of these good bacteria on fiber. They create this butyrate, which feeds those cells, gives them energy, and then knit tightly together, keeping out pathogens and undigested proteins, which can lead to allergies, food intolerances, all that sort of horrible stuff. So we need the fiber-rich foods in there. However, you know, if we do it all in one go, can set yourself up for failure, and you'll think, oh, my body can't handle this food. No, it's not the body. It's the fact that your ability to be able to do that is predicated on the type of bacteria that you got in there. You don't want those pathogenic ones. You want the good Prevotella guys. So what I really say is take out a bit of your old, you know, your processed like junk, which has got the fiber removed, you know, and your animal products. Put in a little bit more fiber-rich foods week by week by week by week. That's the best way to slowly transition, you know, and let your microbiome, not your body adapt, the microbiome, the bacteria that you've invited to live inside the lumen of the colon, you know, and then they'll be able to do it. So that's the best way. But yeah, you could, it might not just be that. You may have other issues which you can test. SIBO test, organic acids test, and stool test to see, you know, you may have unfortunately got like a bacterial infection at the same time, you know. So that's 3 things to look at. See how you get on with your doctor. If they don't help with everything, you know, hopefully whatever test they give you, you know, you diagnose what it is and you sort it out, great. If it doesn't, and you've not had, say, an organic acids test, then I would say speak to my friend Goji, man, you know, and get that test done. I can't really talk too much about him because I've got the whole video coming out about him tomorrow, but watch my video tomorrow morning, probably 6 a.m. It'll be as soon as I get up, I'll post that.
You had a super chat.
Oh, I had a super chat. My jaw's aching from talking so fast. Oh, look at all these birthday wishes. That is beautiful, guys. Thank you. I love it. Oh, and purple piplups in the house. Nice. All the lovely regulars. Truly Mini, $4.99 on the super chat. You're very generous. Do you recommend exercise every day or 3-4 days of the week? Why not? Love you. I love you too, you lovely person. So, you know, I can't say like 3 or 4 days is optimal over 6 or 7 days. It all depends on your total volume. So volume is like number of exercises, sets, rep per set, weight. You know, if you're kind of half-arsing it, you could train every day of the week and recover. if you go in the gym and you absolutely drive yourself into the ground, I'll tell you that the biggest time I ever did that, I did a huge leg session, like a whole like hour and a half on legs. At the end of the session, I did leg extensions. I had 120 kilos, went to failure, immediately stripped 30 kilos off. 90 kilos went to failure, immediately stripped another 30 kilos off, 60 kilos went to failure. I trained that hard, I stood up and then my legs just gave way, bang, and I hit the floor and they were cramping like mad. It took me 2 weeks to recover from that workout. You wouldn't want to do that 7 days a week. Let me put it that way. So you've got to find balance. So this is where like a PT or someone comes in, or if you don't want to go to that expense, you can find decent plans, bodybuilding.com. I don't know what your sport is, but whatever you're into, whatever your sort of discipline, you can find free plans online. But it's like the total volume. So, I think I'm just going to start repeating myself if I carry on. So that's the end of that chapter. I was that guy from The Simpsons when he throws that scarf over his neck, but it gets caught in the fan with the lighting.
Don't remember it.
It's that episode where they say, he's about to do something really stupid. Did you guys see that on my last video? Oh, you reenacted it. What? Drama Llama. I love that name so much. $2. Whose birthday? I just got here. Phil D. He's a lovely man. He's been supporting me so much for a long time. So he got loads of birthday wishes. So that was really beautiful. And thank you for the kind support, Drama Llama. Drama Llama. We should have like a theme every time Drama Llama comes in. I'm going to try and remember to do that. But I am a bit dippy with vegan brain dog, because I've been cutting for too long. Right. Is this? Kakulukia. I remember saying your name recently. Did I say that or did no? Oh, you were in someone's live stream, weren't you? And I was trying to speak back to you. I was trying to say your name. What?
Someone's asked this question a few times. If you wanted to answer it.
Hench, Benjamin 54321. Hench, do you know any type 1 vegans and have any experience in advising them on how to put on muscle weight? Thanks. I don't think I've worked with a type 2 diabetic person, cured his diabetes and then he didn't have it. But the thing was, he was a taxi driver and he actually still had to go and get his insulin because the NHS say like type 2 is not curable. And if he didn't get his insulin, he would have been banned from driving. So he just used to get it and throw it in the bin. So there's something for you. Yeah, I've not worked with a type 1 diabetic. I understand, I don't know if you're eating whole foods already, but I understand that whole foods, like lower fat, plant-based diet can help mitigate the symptoms of type 1. Obviously, it doesn't cure it, but I heard it really helps mitigate. I've not worked with anyone, but the only thing I'll say is, I would go lower fat, so you're not, got more fat in the system, like hampering insulin signaling. You don't want to be depositing fat into the muscle cells. That intramyocellular lipid is like a sort of gum that gums up the lock, and then the key, which is insulin, it can't transport the glycogen into the cell, so then you get a build up in the bloodstream, which is what you don't want. So I would say lower fat, higher carb and protein. And, don't go in too much of a surplus, just being enough that you're growing, but not so much that, you're overburdening and risking your sort of, diabetic, problems relating to that. I can't see why that wouldn't work. And I can't imagine how there'd be any other advice other than that, really. So that's the end of that chapter. If anyone's just come in, they're going to wonder what the hell I'm doing. Phone Ack is in the house. An awesome AI 360. I recognise you. Welcome, guys. Ever cooked? Calories in potatoes come up with so many differences. What is it raw per 100 grams, sweet and regular? Is it about 15 grams for your average regular potato and then maybe about 17 for sweet? Don't quote me. Something like that. Matt Sponger or Sponger brings up a good point. Hench the vegan beast. Ow! I like it when people call me that. Oh. I can't read that name because that's foreign, but it looks cool. What is your personal opinion on the vegetable police's experience with the carnivorous diet? You know, I know like he turned his back on veganism, you know, but not making excuses. When you're suffering enough, like you become desperate and you'll do anything to get out of that pain. Obviously, I didn't like the way he went. You know, he should have got tested with Goji, man. He should have, you know, like I did, found out what's wrong, like treat that. You know, the carnivore diet, it alleviates symptoms. Like I was saying earlier to Ashley, you know, perhaps you're sensitive to salicylates, oxalates, histamines, you know, because there's some dysfunction going on and they cause symptoms. So by taking them out, you're not going to get the symptoms. So you're not cured. So by only eating meat, you're not eating the trigger foods. So they say, oh, I'm cured. They're not cured. They're causing themselves more and more and more problems. And when they try to go back on any healthy foods, they'll find possibly they can't handle any of them now, potentially, like over time. So it's not a cure. It's just nonsense. It's a Band-Aid. Yeah, you're not getting the symptoms, but you are eating the foods associated with 14 of the 15 leading causes of death. So how stupid is that? Rainbow of Boxes agreed. Band-Aid. Gemma was in New York one time and she needed a plaster. So she was asking people in the shop for a plaster. They didn't know what she was on about. And then she sort of explained it and they're going, oh, you mean a Band-Aid? We invented it, you Yanks, you listen to us. No, I'm only joking. I hope you're not American, sorry.
We probably did.
Not that I care if you're American. Americans are lovely people.
So you stop talking now.
Yeah, well, shut up.
You got a super chat.
I got a super chat, man. Braduso Prostacchi. Is that like Italian, that looks to me? I'm not very cultured. $2 on the super chat, thank you. What is the best vegan recipe for blasting Castle Day? Any vegan recipe, if you come back from a background of eating carnivorously, if you've been on a carnivore diet and you eat any vegan food, you're going to have all sorts of problems coming out your ass.
Beans on toast with a bottle of sparkling water.
Yeah.
Double gas.
Double whammy. That was a cheeky question. Phonak, do you like a Borat? My name is Borat, like a berry, like an English berry.
That answers that question.
I've never heard of it. I actually pretended to be Borat once. What happened? There were some people doing this, what do you call it? They were sort of canvassing, like they wanted to ask you like a load of, I think we were testing drinks and they were asking you what you thought of the drinks and whatever. And they went on for about half an hour. I did the whole thing in the voice of Borat. I was a big old lump at that time, and that was around the time of the Olympics, I think. And I said, hey, from the Kazakhstan Olympic wrestling team, and I was really, they were sort of all old ladies, and they were really loving it. They believed it, and they were so loving it. And after half an hour, I got up to go, and I went, cheers, see you later. You should have seen their faces. That was with Lee Whiting, you might have guessed.
Yeah, you told me that ages ago, I remember.
And another time, another canvasser wanted to bother me. What did she say? She was going on about something, and she's on about her laptop, and I said, you want to give me lap dance? And then that was it. She didn't want to bother me anymore. I forgot I used to do crazy stuff.
Used to?
Right, what's going on? Euro.
Right, Anna, did you tell her any of these stories for your book?
No, I don't know if it's relevant.
I don't know.
Zero year. I'm trying to help get my chest defined. If you have any favourite exercise for men's chest workouts you'd like to share. Also, I usually don't use machines at all. For a chest, I think like 1 or 2 really good compound moves, so presses, like decline, flat, incline, barbell press, dumbbell presses. They've both got their benefits. I like a barbell because you can, you can use small increments like progressive overload. So I tend to put that first, like either an incline, flat, or decline barbell press. But then I also like dumbbells because you can come deeper, you get more of a stretch. And you're really working the chest a lot harder. A lot of people like do half a movement or 3/4. They don't touch their chest and then they're locking out. And so you're working like your anterior delt and your triceps hard, but the chest you really want that stretch. So I like to put in those at the start, and then something with a stretch like a dumbbell fly. So you're working the stretch portion, which kind of gets the outer part. And then I like to do something where you're coming in and you're squeezing, like a machine, like a pec deck, or machine fly, cable crossovers, really crossover, and you'll see like the center part of the chest really fire. So you're then developing sort of that outer part. So dips are good as well, Chris Grant. So you can put a dip in instead of one of the chest presses. With the dip for the chest, you want to go wide. A lot of places will have handles that move. You have them close and very upright stance for triceps, but you want them wide and you want to lean in. So again, you're getting a stretch on. It's like you're coming to the bottom on a dumbbell press, and that just hits that chest so much harder. So put those in at the start, and then I like to put in a couple of isolations, something at the stretch, something to really accentuate the contraction, and in that way you'll get like a good overall development. You're very welcome, my friend, from the east coast of the US. Thanks for the question. Right, it's that time again. So guys, tomorrow AM, oh, hang on, we've got a super chat. Holistic Vegan, she's always being lovely, £2 sterling. What's your favourite nut butter and why? The one I eat the most is almond because it's very high in vitamin E and it's easy on a lower fat vegan whole foods diet to be short on vitamin E. I actually noticed because I started getting sort of vision distortions, like a little, I don't know, it's like my sort of eye muscles were like struggling or something, and it like a flickering, which sort of feels like when your muscles are tired and they're sort of shaking. That's what it sort of said to me. I don't know, but I had a little vision disturbance. Put in almonds and then boom, absolutely fine. Taste wise, it's got to be peanut butter, I think, is it?
And do you want us to sort of talk more about how you looked up and that can be a thing to do with lower vitamin E?
I thought I said that, didn't I?
Oh, I don't think you did.
Yeah, vitamin E is good for your eyes. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. Almond butter's on my shopping list now, yeah. But peanut butter is so tasty, isn't it? So, but I look for a whole foods one, either just with peanuts. You certainly don't want palm oil because that'll give you heart disease. You don't want like the sugars and stuff. A little bit of salt. If I don't have any salt, I really cramp when I'm training, particularly in the summer. So I do have a little salt in there, and that is tasty. If I'm honest, let's be straight about it. So guys, tomorrow morning, probably 6 a.m. Is Goji Man legit? Does it work? Test results. Boom. I think that video is going to do pretty well in the old algorithm. Other than that, I'll probably get another video out in the week, or maybe a couple. Another live stream next Friday, 6 p.m. But guys, thank you all for joining. Thank you, moderators, for wielding your spanners so well. Thank you so much for the super chats. Your help and support, my life's purpose. So you'll never know how good that feels to me. I appreciate you so much. And, all you regulars who come and chat, I love hanging out with you. If you're new to the channel, I'd love for you to become part of the Hench Herbivore community. So hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified of new live streams, new videos. And we'll see you next time. I love you. And it's goodbye from the hand from beyond.